Knicks insider Ian Begley has revealed two potential free agency targets in Javale McGee and Bismack Biyombo. And also, you guys won't stop talking about Dwight Howard. So we're going to break all these down as free agent options for the Knicks. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. And we're going to jump right into the video because insider Ian Begley was talking about some potential backup center options, finding it weird that the Knicks haven't signed anyone using that open 15th roster spot. And obviously it is weird, and there's a chance they're trying to use it to manipulate some form of trade, which at this point wouldn't surprise me. Leon Rose is always playing 4D chess. It's impossible to read what that guy is doing with his decisions and with these trades. You never see it coming whenever Leon makes a move. I mean, who saw Cam Payne coming? Who saw McHale? All that stuff right out of left field. Chuma, Okeke, all this stuff comes out of left field, essentially. And here's what Begley said about potential centers, saying it would surprise him if the Knicks were confident about their current state of the center position. You have to think the Knicks are at least considering veteran bigs like JaVale McGee and Bismack Biyombo, saying they may sign a veteran before the start of training camp. Maybe the Knicks see how their current group looks before making a move. No matter how it plays out, the decisions they make around the center position this season will be critical. Now, not only that, but Eric Pincus from Bleacher Report let kind of the entire world know exactly 1 month ago that he believes that both Bismack Biyombo and JaVale McGee are top 10 free agents left available. Now, that was exactly a month ago on August 13th, saying that even in Biyombo's best year, he was a non-scorer, peaking at 7.4 points per game, but he's a tremendous locker room presence, and on the court, he plays hard as a rebounder, screen setter, and general physical presence. He isn't the tallest available center, but he is big-bodied and mobile. With veterans such as Taj Gibson still in the league, Biyombo is a viable option in a low-minute bench role, either to start the season or midway as roster spots open via trades or waiver wire stuff. And with JaVale, Pincus mentioned that McGee's a three-time champion, winning twice with the Golden State Warriors in 2017 and 2018, also with the Lakers in 2020 in the bubble. He rounded out the Kings bench last season, only playing 7.4 minutes per game over 46 games. He's still efficient with 59.8% from the field and has great size and length following an inconsistent start to his career. But he ended up becoming one of the more respected guys in the locker room. Like Biyombo, McGee probably won't play that much for a team that signs him, but he is a valuable player to have around younger players. I think JaVale McGee's a great guy to have around Mitchell Robinson. Now, is Mitch young? No, not at all. He's going into his 7th NBA season, but he's still only 25 years old. And looking at Mitch, I feel like he could learn a lot from JaVale McGee, someone who blossomed late into this guy who just affects winning monstrously. Now, Mitch already does that. It's very obvious that the Knicks are way better when Mitchell Robinson is on the court than when he's off the court. That's been the case essentially since Mitch came to the team, partially because how good Mitch has been since he got here, especially in comparison to the other guys on the team. But it's also just telling that the Knicks are certainly interested in these two guys. I mean, Biyombo's a veteran who plays very hard, and though he's undersized, he makes up for it with ferociousness and just being a good defender, being able to block shots, and just giving great energy. The problem with Biyombo is that sounds eerily similar to Precious Achiuwa, who is better than Biyombo at this point of each of their career. I'd rather have Precious. I feel like they bring the same thing, except Precious can shoot mid-range shots and isn't an absolute dud at the free throw line sometimes. So I'm a big fan of just keeping Precious. However, I do love the idea of JaVale McGee on the Knicks. I think JaVale is someone who could absolutely work out really well for this team in a smaller role that could diminish into a complete bench role. McGee is a very similar player to Mitchell Robinson, especially in their primes, high-flying lob catchers who can protect the rim very well, entertaining guys. Everyone clearly likes to be around them, funny, fun-loving, personable people who clearly just have the respect of their teammates, and their teammates enjoy playing on the same team as them. It's why McGee's been staying in the NBA for so long. At one point, he was the literal meme of basketball because sometimes he'd screw up. He'd take off in transition, looking all athletic, then accidentally throw the ball into the fourth row, and Shaq made an entire TV show based off of JaVale McGee and all that, just making fun of him on Shaqtin' a Fool, which JaVale, rightfully so, now has graduated from being a 3-time NBA champion and just being a well-respected NBA veteran. And obviously Shaq hates the Knicks anyway, so I'd imagine that if McGee went to the Knicks, Shaq would actually get him back for that and continue to go off on this tangent once again. But I do like the idea of both of these guys, specifically JaVale. I think when you look at the Knicks, it wouldn't hurt to get a veteran center in there. Right now you have Mitchell Robinson, Precious Achiuwa, Jericho Sims. I kind of want to say Julius Randle because he'll play some minutes at center, but for guys who will play primarily most of their minutes at center, you have Mitch, Precious, Jericho, and Ariel Hukporti on a two-way contract. That's a young group, man. I mean, Precious is on his third team and going into his fifth NBA season or sixth NBA season. Mitchell Robinson going into his seventh, been with the Knicks for a while, been on good Knicks teams, been on bad Knicks teams. Great guy to have, just injury issues. Jericho Sims never really has gotten consistent minutes at the NBA level yet. Has looked like a solid prospect, but I'm not going to go too deep in on Sims because I do have an entire Jericho Sims video coming out, and we're going to get rolling on that. Probably that'll come out tomorrow night-ish around then. So stay tuned for that. But also, looking at this group, they're young. They're a young group. Hukporti hasn't played an NBA game, and guess what? He's probably not going to play many minutes in the NBA this season. I understand some people like Hukporti, but let me get it through to you. Tibbs is not playing a rookie who was the last pick in the draft for a contending team. It's just not going to happen, guys. I don't see a pathway for Hukporti unless he's one of the best players in the G League, and the Knicks have an injury to Robinson. They don't have another center ready, and they only have Jericho and Precious, and it stops working to where they give Hukporti a try, and he shows up and plays phenomenal basketball. Now, is that impossible? Absolutely not, especially the latter part. I think Hukporti could pan out. Before he ruptured his Achilles, the man was a first-round pick, but rupturing your Achilles as a rim-running big man scares the hell out of drafters. And more importantly, it is worrisome because you're a freak athlete who just ruptured his Achilles. People are going to be scared about that. So all that being said, I think it's a good idea for the Knicks to go out there and get a veteran, someone who's been in these situations before, someone who's been on winning teams, someone who knows how to win, someone who's been around winning players. A guy like JaVale McGee has played with the three best players of this basketball's generation. Of people my age who grew up on watching basketball, I'm 23 years old for some reference. The three best players of the 2010s, JaVale McGee was teammates with all of them. LeBron, who's arguably the greatest player of all time. Steph Curry, arguably a top 10 player of all time. Kevin Durant, arguably a top 15 player of all time. The three best players of the generation, all of them have won championships. All of them have won championships with JaVale McGee on their team. Also, McGee played a big role on each of those teams. However, I'd be remiss if I did not mention the other guy who played center when LeBron was winning that championship in the bubble with the Lakers. And that is none other than everyone's favorite Taiwanese basketball player, Dwight Howard. You guys on the last video would not stop talking about Dwight Howard. So many comments asking for Dwight Howard, a potential signing of a one-year deal, maybe extend him after that into his 40s. And then even mention that Dwight Howard is still playing. Just straight up comment saying Dwight Howard. Y'all seem to love Dwight Howard here. I understand why. I actually think Dwight would fit the Knicks really well also for 12 minutes a night, and I do think he could hold his own. I think I put a poll, I know I put a poll on the Knicks Digest community site, so if you go look at that, you could easily see the poll. Just, do you want Dwight Howard on the Knicks? Last time I checked, it's 51% no, 49% yes. And I think with Dwight, he would fit the team. It's a matter of can he still play 12 minutes per game in an NBA setting, and I kind of think he can, because he averaged 23 points and 16 rebounds in Taiwan. Now, yes, that's Taiwan, but Dwight Howard still did that. Though, in his last season in the NBA, he put up a career low in points and rebounds and had his career low in minutes. Now, all that being said, Dwight Howard probably can still get it done to a degree. That shot block timing is not going to go anywhere. The man is such a freak athlete, and he's showing that he still is that in Taiwan. I don't hate the idea of trying it out, but it is risky to put Dwight onto this team, and then if it doesn't work, that's a whole issue, and it could turn into a lot. I know people are just aware that Dwight Howard being one of the more famous players in history of basketball over the last 25 or 20 years or so. 20 years, I guess, because he was drafted in 2004. So, looking at that, Dwight Howard, it's tough to bring a guy like that in who's so famous to just sit him on the bench the entire time. It depends on if Dwight wants to do that. It depends if Dwight can play as a backup center to Mitchell Robinson. Though, you know what? I'm down to try it, honestly. Now, also, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel because 28% of viewers are subscribed, and we got to get that number up. But like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.